Hello, welcome back to the studio. Today's going to be a pretty simple back to basics type page. I just want to go over some stamping techniques with everyone. And I'm continuing with my scrapbook page or scrapbook pages for my daughter and I when we made our road trip back in 2002 from Orange County to San Francisco in a convertible. And both she and I and my son actually thoroughly enjoy photography. So this was a day when we were just kind of out shooting photography in Napa. So we're going to just record these few pictures here on this page and do some stamping. And I forgot the name of this paper again. I cannot remember. Just a moment. For Always. These two papers here are from the collection For Always. If they're available, I will link them below. We are going to be using toffee paper as a solid paper, and we're going to use the darker tone of the paper. And as I've mentioned before, Discovery. Close to my heart, excuse me, I had something else on my mind. Close to my heart has all their solid color paper is a lighter tone and a true tone on one side. So I'm going to use the true tone, which is the darker tone. And I've made some photography mats. So I'm going to use the toffee again. And I'm also going to use the photo placeholders that come with all of your worksheets or workbooks. Oh boy, Susan, take a deep breath. They come with the workshops. All these photo placeholders come with either the card workshops or they come with the scrapbooking workshops. So let me roll the intro. I'll get everything set up and we'll get going. All right, I'm back. I finished matting up my pictures. So I'm going to put a little bit of tape down here just to tentatively hold my base paper here. Kind of gives me a canvas to work on that doesn't scoot around. Now this paper is directional, so there's some verbiage in here. You want to see that you can read that. So you put that on in the right direction. I could have gutted out this paper back here, but for the reason that this lays in my album a particular way, I wanted to leave it whole. And this is where the Versamat comes in handy because I can line up everything to know that it is straight, and I absolutely love that. So we're coming in about 1/4 of an inch on all sides. Will it be perfect? Probably not, because I'm not perfect. Okay, then I think what I want to do is bring this in here offset. So I'm going to go ahead and put that down. Put that on my stamp block. If it were new, you always want to make sure that you're rubbing your fingers across it to get off any of that processing dust. I'm inking it up. I'm going to stamp it here. Don't wiggle your stamp, just go straight up and down. And I'm holding it there for a minute, and I'm lifting up. And see what a nice clean stamp that is. So you have a couple ways of using the stamps. And what I love is each one of our stamp sets comes with the foam piece. It comes with the carrier sheet that has an outline, so you know if you're missing any of the stamps when you go to close up your set, when you're done working on your design for the day. And if you do have thin cuts, then you do get, along with your set, a magnetic sheet. And these alone, let me tell you, before I was with Close to My Heart as a designer, these alone are super expensive. So you really get a good deal. So there you go. Let me put this away, and what I'm gonna do, I'll show you what I've done earlier, is I stamped these out in my stamping positioner. And I'm not gonna color these or anything. I'm just gonna use them as they are. I really like that look with what I'm doing. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna die cut these out with my thin cuts. And when I'm done, I'll come back with you and we'll finish off our design. Okay, I am back. I finished all my die cutting. And what I wanted to mention to you too, to save time, or if there's a particular time when you just don't feel like crafting, or you've got your, minus your mojo that night, which happens to all of us crafters, what you can do is just sit down and cut out a bunch of die cuts out of scrap paper. Or when I'm die cutting and I know a particular set has lots of pieces, I will make sure to cut out everything at once and maybe a couple times. And I keep what I don't use in the envelopes that I had shown to you before, this one. So today I know I won't use all of these die cuts. So what I'll do is I will put them in the back of this envelope. So next time they're there if I would like to use them. It's just one of those, things to do too if you're, again, you've lost your mojo. Sorry, I call it that. You can sit down and, my camera's off center again. You can sit down and just do some die cutting. So let's play around with some of these and see what we come up with, knowing that I want to put my title down in here. My beautiful daughter. What I wanted to tell you a little bit about her. She was about 20 years old when we made this trip. She is now a phenomenal quilter and photographer. Her website is Stitched by Alexis, ALEX. I'll link it below. And she has a long arm quilting machine in her home and hires out that service. And when she's done doing those quilts, she takes them out and does professional photography of them so people can use them on their website or just for their own personal reference. And she is doing phenomenally well, to the point she kind of had to put the brakes on for a little while because she's only taking so many per month now because she wasn't able to get done what she wanted to get done. But anyways, I'm amazed by her talent. She's a pretty incredible young woman. I'll always think of her as my little girl. Don't we all of us moms think of our children that way? They'll always be our babies. Okay, let's see what else we have here. I think with this, if I use this in the center, I might do some, use some 3D foam tape and get some height out of some of these. I've got some more leaves we can put down in here. I think we're gonna need another small flower in here. Let's do that. I like this kind of tone-on-tone look. It's kind of not a tone-on-tone, but we're only using two different colors in here. We're using, khaki, white, a white daisy, and black. I guess it's like a charcoal color. All right. And I might come in and use some black sequins at the last minute with this too. Let's see. I like that. Not feeling this center for whatever reason. I'm okay with some of this coming off the bottom down here. I don't want to cover up her sandals here because I think, I think in 20 years when she looks back at that, like I would right now, I would say, how in the heck did I ever stand in those shoes? Boy, am I sounding old. Let's put a couple more leaves in here. And I'm going to put one more up in here, I think. All right, let me get this put down, and then we're gonna come back and put on a couple more accessories, like I like to call them. And as far as our die cuts go, I think that's gonna be it. And but I am gonna add some other little things to it. I'll be right back. Okay, I think we are finished with this quick page tonight or today, wherever you might be. This is basically a monochromatic page, and it makes me happy. I think this is one of my favorite pages. Happens to also be my beautiful daughter, so you know, all of us moms are partial to our children. Anyways, so the still shots will be at the end of the video here. So stick around and I'll give you a close-ups of some of the design. I did come off the edge on some of these on the flowers, which is perfectly fine by me. I just trim them up. I turn over my piece of paper and just trim those off. Out of my stash, I had this little wood-looking heart, and I put it down here on my title, which says Our Mother and Daughter Day of Photography, Napa, California, July 2002. And also, you remember back when I was doing this stamping, on one side of the paper I wasn't happy with the stamp, so I turned it over, and my stamp positioner did more stamping, which was on the lighter tone, which I actually really like. So what I did is I mixed some of the dark and light tones of the toffee paper in with each little cluster down here and here and here. And I really like the way that turned out. I like the contrast, just a little bit of contrast between the dark and the light paper. So there you go. So make sure you comment down below so we get you entered for the drawing. That will be the first week of March. And until next time, thank you for joining me, and we'll talk soon. Well, we'll see each other on the internet soon. Bye-bye.